Are you feeling uncertain about your financial progress this year? Well, if so, it's time to reassess and refine your strategy. By adjusting your financial plan mid year, you can steer your course towards success and achieve your goals with confidence. So let's explore how embracing adaptability in your financial plan can be your superpower. Hello, and welcome to Rise to Your Money Power, where we have honest conversations to empower you around your relationship with money. I'm Pamela Plick, and I'm on a mission to empower women to confidently build wealth from the inside out. I help women overcome feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or stuck related to their personal relationship with money so that they can become confident, achieve peace of mind, create the financial freedom and impact that they desire in the world. And I do this through my signature programs and services, as well as events and community. As we reach the midpoint of the year, it's essential to take a step back and assess our financial growth. Are we on track to meet our goals, or do we need to make adjustments? Today, let's discuss the importance of a mid year financial review and 5 practical ways to adjust your financial plan to continue progress and success. Now, last week, I actually wrote a blog post about how to do a mid year financial audit. So if you didn't catch that, you might want to go back and read that blog post, because after you've done the financial audit, now it's time to reassess and to make changes or to course correct as needed. So, the first practical way to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued progress and success is to review your financial goals. Mid-year is the perfect time to revisit those financial goals that you set at the beginning of the year, not only your financial goals, but also the financial intentions that you set at the beginning of the year. Are they still relevant and achievable? Have your priorities shifted? Taking a moment to reflect on your goals will help you to realign with your plan with your current aspirations. Now, the objectives that you set at the beginning of the year may no longer be relevant or achievable due to changes in your personal or financial circumstances. So, by reassessing your goals, you can realign your financial plan with your current needs and aspirations, ensuring that you remain on the path to success. When reviewing your goals, your financial goals, start by examining whether they're still realistic and relevant. And if you recall, I'm a big fan of the SMART acronym, making sure especially when it comes to our goals, making sure that when you write your goals, that they are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. So it makes it really easy when you are doing a financial audit, or you just want to revisit and make sure that those goals are still applicable to you. Now, you also want to look at changes in income, unexpected expenses, or even shifts in your personal priorities. Those can all impact the feasibility of your original goals. For example, let's say you received a promotion and a salary increase, or your revenues have you've generated more revenues than you projected at the beginning of the year. So this might make it might make it for easier for you to accelerate your savings or your investment plans. In contrast, maybe you've had some unforeseen expenses come up this year, medical, or maybe related to your home or other expenses which may cause you to readjust your goals to account for your new financial reality. In addition to evaluating the relevance of your goals, you also want to consider achievability. Goals that seemed attainable at the beginning of the year may need to be adjusted if your financial situation has changed significantly. Now, by breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable milestones, this can make them feel less overwhelming and more achievable. And it's okay that, maybe you have a big grand goal and it doesn't look like you're going to achieve that over the next 6 months. Break that goal down into smaller goals. That way you stay motivated. They're more realistic to attain. And you don't get discouraged because you know that you're not going to be able to achieve that goal. Now, this approach also helps you to track your progress more effectively and make incremental adjustments as needed. So, I want to give you a couple of three actionable tips for you to get started. Number one, as I discussed earlier, break down your goals into smaller, manageable milestones. This will make it easier for you to track your progress and to stay motivated throughout the rest of the year. For instance, if you have a goal to save $5,000 by the end of the year, break that down into monthly savings targets of $830 a month. And that makes it just easier for you to be able to track and to stay on track. The next tip is to share your updated goals with a trusted advisor, friend, or family member. Accountability can help you to stay committed and make necessary adjustments along the way. By discussing your goals with someone else, it also provides a fresh perspective and advice on how to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Now, additionally, regular check-ins, whether it's monthly or bi-monthly, will allow you to monitor your progress and to make any necessary adjustments to stay on track. And now the third tip in this area is to schedule regular check-ins, such as monthly or bi-monthly reviews, to monitor your progress and make any additional changes that to stay on track. So one way that you can do that, in addition to meeting with your trusted advisor, a friend, or a family member, is to also set timers or reminders on your calendar to review your financial goals and progress, as well as this helps you to ensure that you remain focused and positive. And one of the ways that you can do that, also, I'm a big fan of time blocking. So, get your calendar out and put it on your calendar. Block out, monthly or bi monthly on your calendar, financial review. or goals check-in, whatever that might be. Set aside some time to make sure that you are reviewing your goals on a regular basis to make sure that you're on track. And the thing is, if you review on a regular basis, like monthly or bi-monthly, it's easier to course correct. If you wait, you're not reviewing, like you set the goals, you just leave them and you don't review anything for an entire year, it makes it more difficult to make changes or to course correct or even to catch up. So making sure that you put a regular time on your calendar. Also, by taking these steps to review and adjust your financial goals mid-year ensures that your financial plan remains aligned with your evolving circumstances as well as your current priorities. So one action step that you can take right now to review your financial goals is to write down any changes in your financial goals and to update your plan accordingly. And I also want to mention, there are certain times when you really do need to update your financial plan, if you have a job or career change, maybe you have a new addition to your family. Um, Also, making sure that if you have, like, you get married or you get divorced, that's important as well. So any major life change that you have, that's a good point, a good point to update your financial plan. Now, the second practical way to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued success and progress is to analyze your spending habits. You want to review your spending over the past 6 months. Hopefully, you have that automated. I know some of you like to use spreadsheets, but you have to manually update those spreadsheets. So, making sure that, if you have it automated, maybe through your online banking or you're using a budgeting app, that's a great way to make sure that you're keeping everything up to date. So, review your spending over the past 6 months. Identify any patterns or areas where you may have overspent. And then understanding your spending habits can really help you to make the necessary adjustments to your budget and ensure that you stay on track. So hopefully you are reviewing your budget, making sure that you're on track on a monthly basis. That's probably a quick check-in. But then, mid-year, really analyze the spending that you've done over the past 6 months. Has it been in alignment with your goals? Or have you been overspending in certain areas? So again, this is a good time to be able to course correct and maybe cut back look at where you can cut back on certain areas to redirect those funds to the areas that are important to you, whether it's saving, or it might be paying down debt. So just thinking about that and making sure that you get your spending back in alignment if you've kind of gotten away from that. So one quick action step that you can take to analyze your spending habits is to create a revised budget. So look at the spending habits over the 6 months, then create a revised budget that reflects your current spending and savings goals. And it's important, just as a reminder, when you are creating a budget or you're updating your budget, it needs to be a budget that's realistic and something that you're actually going to be able to stick to. So keeping that in mind. Now, the third practical way to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued progress and success is to assess your savings and investments. It's a good time to check the progress of your savings and your investments. Did you have a goal of increasing your emergency fund or create or increasing your retirement account? Or other savings goals. So making sure that have you stuck to the plan that you set for contributing to your emergency fund, your retirement accounts, and your savings goals, or do you need to revisit that? You want to make sure that your investment portfolio also is well diversified and aligned with your risk tolerance and your financial objectives. So this also is a good time if you don't meet, if you're working with a financial advisor, you don't meet on a regular basis or you haven't met this year, to schedule a time to review those investments. Pull out that statement and anything that you don't understand, making sure that you contact your advisor, and so that you can make sure that everything is on track. So one action step that you can take today to assess your savings and investments is to adjust your savings contributions and investment allocations as needed to stay in alignment with your goals. Now, the fourth practical way to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued progress and success is to evaluate your debt management plan. You want to take a look at your debt repayment process. Are you reducing your debt as planned? Now, if you have consumer debt, such as credit cards, or or you have an auto loan, or you have personal loans, things like that, it's important, that bottom line is that really the money that's going towards that debt is money that's being taken away from your ability to save for other goals that you have, longer term goals. So making sure that if you have a debt repayment plan in place, that you are sticking to it and that you're making progress. So you also want to consider if there are opportunities to pay off high interest debt faster or to potentially refinance for better terms. So this is a good time to kind of analyze that and come up with revise your plan. If you don't have a plan, come up with a plan or to revise it as needed. Now, one action step that you can take to evaluate your debt management plan is to develop a revised debt repayment strategy that accelerates your journey to becoming debt free. The fifth practical way to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued progress and success is to plan for upcoming expenses. You want to anticipate any significant expenses in the second half of the year, such as holidays or vacations, maybe some home repairs. And as you're planning, thinking about the holidays, and you have gifts that you need to buy, kind of anticipating what the expense is going to be for that, or even travel that you need to take. So keeping that in mind, anticipating those expenses and planning ahead will help you to allocate your funds appropriately and avoid financial stress. So it's a great time to start setting aside, during with your and in your reserve account, you're making sure that you're setting aside money for those planned expenses. We know we want to plan for unexpected expenses by setting aside for our emergency fund, but also setting aside for any upcoming expenses that may be coming up. It's easier to spread that out over the next 6 months versus trying to come up with the money within that month. So keeping that in mind. One action step that you can take to plan for upcoming expenses is to set up a separate savings account that for these anticipated expenses, and adjust your monthly budget to include contributions to this fund. Now, you want to keep this account separate from your emergency fund. So remember, with the emergency fund, we want to build that to 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses, which is housing, food, transportation, medical. That goes in one account. And then if you set up a separate account for maybe recurring expenses that are going to come up, um, and make contributions to that account separately. Now, conducting a mid-year financial review is a powerful way to stay on top of your financial goals and to make necessary adjustments. And by being adaptable and proactive, you can ensure that you're on the right track to achieving financial success. Embrace the opportunity to refine your plan and steer your course towards greater financial well-being. Now, let's recap what we covered today. Today, we discussed the importance of a mid-year financial review, and we did discuss 5 practical ways to adjust your financial plan to ensure continued progress and success. We discussed review your financial goals, analyze your spending habits, assess your savings and investments, evaluate your debt management plan, and lastly, plan for upcoming expenses. Now, what I'd like to ask you to do at this point is to pull out your journal or your notepad and ask yourself these 3 questions. I review your current financial situation or reflect on it, and ask yourself these 3 questions to help to give you clarity and to motivate you into action. Ask, what financial goals have I achieved so far this year? Number 2, how have my financial priorities changed since the beginning of the year? And then lastly, ask yourself, are my current savings and investment strategies working for me? Now, if you are ready to take the first step towards creating financial empowerment and success, then I invite you to join me for a powerful Money Power Breakthrough call to help you to unlock the key to transforming your relationship with money. Together, we will uncover what's holding you back from aligning your vision with your goals, and to identify the next inspired step for you to take to pave the way towards ultimate financial freedom. You don't want to miss this opportunity to create a brighter future for yourself and your business. To learn more and apply, just go to PamelaPlick.com/thank you. That's PamelaPlick.com/thank you to access the link to schedule your call. Then once you schedule your call, go ahead and check out my other tools and resources that are available to help you to start unlocking your financial freedom and setting yourself up for long-term success. In closing, I'd like to leave you with this final thought. Adaptability in your financial plan is your superpower. Embrace change and steer the course, your course, towards success. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. And until next time, remember, you can rise to your money power.